has been, we do a lot of things very slowly here, as in we take time. So when you go to see our still, which I'll show you, our still is a cognac still. So it came from France, and it actually did make cognac at one point. But the biggest thing with the still for how it takes so long is a direct fire. So most stills are steam or coils, which is great, and they're very versatile, and they're much easier to work with. This thing's a little bit cantankerous, but it takes, and sometimes one of our distillation runs will take 12 hours, which is very long. But at the end of the day, the direct fire really creates a lot more flavor, quality, and character in our spirits. So we'll head back there. This is our tasting room where we do our cocktails. And then this still, there's only 5 others in the US, 4 of which are all in wine country. So the still is very geared towards making great products. So like I said, we did the brandy. That's really what it's there for. So behind me, you'll see the still. And then over here is where everything comes out. So directly here, this right in front of you, you will see a computer. Now before, back in the day, obviously the computer wasn't there. There was just the open flame, which is still behind this computer right now. Back in the day, that would be, you'd have to constantly watch it. We do monitor it here, but we just check maybe every hour. And we just check the computer to see the temperatures and things like that, make sure the gooseneck up here is correct. But basically, it's still a very, very old style. So a lot of stills, a lot of the people we know, our friends here in Virginia, they're using hybrid stills, which is part pot, part column. And then like our neighbors over at Cirrus Vodka, they're using a column still. We couldn't even make vodka if we wanted to here. There's plenty of good vodkas out there, but that type of still is, when you see those portholes in a column still, it's basically, they say, pulling out impurities is what they say when you're making vodka. So their goal is grain neutral, whereas our goal here is to preserve flavor. So the direct fire along with the pot still, and then eventually it'll come out over here. And we always joke that this thing is French because these very expensive brass handles here do absolutely nothing. Just meant to, that's how French it is. It's really, we always joke that it's just expensive and doesn't have any purpose. But we actually did do a run today, and so it'll come out, and then we have the heads, hearts, and tails, and the hearts come out here. We did our blackstrap came out, and the blackstrap molasses is very difficult to work with because it's basically what's left over, and you're trying to, there's still a lot of like plant material in blackstrap, but it creates a really nice flavor, a really nice viscosity. But we've found out, of course, it's takes a little bit tougher to ferment. We're also doing all different types of molasses. So we've got regular, we get all of our molasses from Guatemala, and then we have our regular molasses, and then we have our blackstrap, full blackstrap, and then we have a blend about 70-30. So all those will be varieties that'll come out in the next few years. And then when they, like I was talking about earlier, all spirits come out clear no matter what you're making. So that molasses is very thick. It's black, it's dark, it's even thicker than maple syrup when it goes. Then we put it in our fermentation tanks over here, and it'll sit in that tank, and we feed it yeast. So sugar eats yeast and becomes alcohol. So eventually it'll become almost like a wine, and you'll taste it along the way, and it'll be at about 7 to 9% alcohol. That's what we did with, same thing with the brandy. And then you put it through the still once, and it's at about 35%. And by the time it comes through our still on our second distillation, then it's at about, 150 to 160 proof alcohol. So then what we'll do, we'll take that, we'll put them in some of our barrels. Like this really old barrel back here is about 40 years old. That's a cognac barrel. That's got some of our 4 ports sitting in it right now. And then, like I said, it's very humid back here. That's one benefit of aging in Virginia is the humidity. Because hot is not necessarily better for aging. Humid is really what you want. Because hot actually makes more of the alcohol evaporate, whereas the humidity just makes it expand and contract while maintaining moisture on the barrel.